this is very clear to you. Now, moving on to this example, we have one more variable called float area. So the name of the variable will be area, and data type for this variable is float, and the value that we are trying to store into this variable called area is 64.74. This was for this line. Moving on to the next line, we are declaring a variable called volume, and this time we are using a double data type. So double volume is equals to 134.64. So as you can see, that we discussed in point number 2, the precision for double data type is very high digits that you are able to use after the decimal point. So these are some examples for float, double and integers. We can also use these two data types for exponentials. I'll show you one more example how to use them for exponentials. So here, as you can see, double distance is equals to 45e12. We write the value that we want to store into that distance variable. So 45e12 is basically 45 into 10 to the power 12. So e is used as an exponential symbol. So this basically means 45 into 10 to the power 12. So this is the mathematical meaning of the statement written over here. I hope you guys are clear with the basic theoretical concept of integers, float and doubles. So now let's move to the practical part and see some practical coding applications. Okay, so let us start with the practical discussion on our integers and float. So in the presentation we discussed and understood some of the concepts that we require to define variables in the C++ programming language. So let me write a basic syntax, and then using the generalized statement that I'm writing in the first comment, we'll try to define some of the variables, and we'll also take some of the examples where we'll be getting user input for our integer and floating type variables. So the general syntax can be, you have your data type, and then you have a variable name, and if you are assigning the value at the time of declaring the variable, so it will turn out something like is equals to the value that you want to store. Okay, let me give some of the underscores to make it more clear. So want to store. So this will be the general syntax. Firstly, we'll write the data for 3 different variables. Before that, let me include the header files, hash include iostream, and using namespace std. This is the standard stuff that we follow in every C++ program, and here we have our main function. So let me define a variable of integer type integer, where 1 is equals to 50. So let's understand the statement with the help of the generalized syntax that I have written over here in the comment. So data type is the first requirement, and here the data type is the keyword int. So what it is telling, that this var1 is a variable and it is of integer type. So data type, variable name is var1 is equal to, and on the right hand side of is equal to, we'll write the value that we want to store inside this var1. So 50 will be stored into var1. If I save the program